Hello everybody, it's the Raven8425 here, bringing another video, and today we're going to be looking at Rainbow Six Siege in the controller settings I use when playing. I am a Platinum player. As you can see, I'm a low plat at the moment. The season just came out. I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm the best player ever. I have been Platinum ever since season Operation Velvet Shell actually, so it was year 2, season 1, I've been Platinum every single season. So I think I know a little bit about the game. This is by no means a diamond setup or a champion setup. I've never been there. This might get you there, but it hasn't gotten it for me. But this has gotten me consistent kills, a consistent KD, and platinum consistently. You see my KD is 1.2. So let's get into it. I'll also be looking at some of the other settings as well. So for your general settings, this stuff doesn't matter. The new one, drone after prep, I have that on semi-automatic. That way, if I'm not on my drone, it still exits. But if I am on my drone, it will not exit. And this is good for when you're playing like Twitch or something, or if you just want to get your drone out there before it can get shot. That was a new setting, and it's really good. So use it. For audio, subtitles off, obviously. I got my master volume at 100. I put my music all the way down to 0. Sometimes the music can, you know, drown out other sounds that you actually need to hear, so that's why I just keep that at 0. Dialogue's at 100, but you could turn that down to 0 if you really wanted to. Although I wouldn't, because sometimes the characters do give callouts inside the game that maybe your team didn't give. For dynamic range, I keep that at night mode because it makes the quieter sounds louder. With some of these other ones, it will make the louder sounds just as loud and keep the quiet sounds quiet. This will actually make the quiet sounds louder because night mode is thinking, oh, you have your stuff set low, so let's raise up those small sounds that you wouldn't be able to hear otherwise. So things like bandit tricking, thermites, it helps really well for that. Hearing footsteps even. Night mode is essential, guys. Voice chat volume of the 85 because sometimes people yelling in their mics, you can't hear anything. This keeps it at something where you can hear them fine, but they're also not screaming in your ears. Video VSync off. I keep my brightness at 70. Honestly, you could probably have it a little bit higher than that, but you want to be able to see everything. Sometimes there's a lot of dark spots in the map, so you want to eliminate any dark spot where you wouldn't be able to see anyone. This setting isn't as important as it used to be because it used to be you looked into the window and like it was like completely, the way the lighting worked in the game, you couldn't be able to see anything, and this was essential. Not as much now, but still keep it up higher. For controls, a look conversion, obviously that's based on your preference. I don't play a GoldenEye, so this one's disabled. Vibration, honestly, you could probably disable this, but I'm just so used to have over 800 hours, I think, or something like that crazy in this game. I'm just so used to the vibration, I have to have it. Here's the biggies. So vertical sensitivity, I keep at 35. Now, I know a lot of people that are in my rank that usually play with higher than this, but I find if you do play higher than that, it can be a lot harder to hit your shots. I feel this is like the perfect balance of 35-50 to be able to lock onto people really nicely. You can still snap on people, but it's not like you're going crazy, So that's why I rock 35-50. Honestly, though, if you're playing on a higher setting and having success with it, keep it. If you're playing on a higher setting and struggling, lower it. And if you're playing lower than this, I definitely at least up it to this level, because if you're playing lower, it could affect your gameplay a little bit. So for dead stick zone, I keep that at 10. If you go to 5, it could be a little bit too much. Even at 10, I start to have some controller drift. Like I'm aiming down sight. It's not my controller. I'm aiming down sight, and like it will start to move my sight so slightly that you can barely even notice it, but it's still doing it. But I still think the benefits of having it low, because just the smallest bit more reaction time, I think it's worth it. Controller rotation, honestly, I don't know what this does, but updated says more consistent, so I put it on updated. Whatever. Aim assist, always keep this disabled. That way, when you go into terrorist hunt to warm up, you're actually warming up and not just locking on people's heads because the game is letting you. Aimed out sights have at 35. This is again where you're locking onto people. Although, let's say you're in a situation where somebody's far on your right, and then you start getting shot from your left. You don't want to stay ADS while you go and scope over there. Sometimes there are certain situations where if they're so far apart, it's better to unaim, quickly, turn and then aim again, which is why the horizontal is higher, right? Because if you're unaimed, you will turn faster and aim quicker. Um, like when you use the Chonka turrets, right? If you're aiming down sight, your turret moves left and right super slow, but once you unaim, you can move really fast, sort of like that. So just keep that in mind. Gadget deployment, have this on advanced. If you're ever going to bandit trick, if you're ever going to do anything, you have to have it on advanced. Because let's say he puts a thermite down, right? Oh, you hear it, you go to put your thing down. Oh, nope, it was a fake. That way you can instantly pick up by just unholding square and move on to the next. If you're going to bandit trick, do this for sure. I think it's good in any circumstance though. Drone deployment, I just have this on advanced. That way, there are certain situations where I know a guy's around a corner. I'll chuck my drone. He thinks this guy's about to get on his drone. I'm rushing him. But since it's on advanced, I don't automatically go on my drone, and I'm just sitting there waiting for him. I was baiting him. That's what I was doing. Or sometimes I'll use it as bait. I'll throw it and be like, okay, if there's somebody over there, he's probably going to shoot it. So I'll throw it, and then if he shoots it, I know there's somebody over there. Stuff like that. So yeah, guys, that's my controller settings. Nothing crazy here. But like I said, these settings aren't going to get you to plat or diamond or champion most likely, but they are good for newer players who are trying to get to that higher level of competition, just not the highest. If you guys have any questions about my controller setup, let me know. If you guys want some more tips and tricks videos, I would love to. I have a lot of knowledge about this game, at least I think I do. So just let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time.